Okay, hold on, you guys, because it won't allow me to go live on oh, you guys. Sorry, okay. So it won't allow me to go live on Facebook. So hold on a second. I don't have enough friends. So let me try to record on the camera. So on Facebook it might be 15 minutes. So if you want to see the whole entire full video, you're gonna have to go to YouTube to pull it up or Instagram. So hold on a second. So I don't have enough people. And you request some friends. Since when? Okay. So here we are live. I just want to get back with you guys because it's been a while since we have spoken. And I just want to just catch up with you guys so and stuff like that. Let you guys know what was going on. So I do have a new hair color, but I got it done back in like May. The week going into the Memorial weekend. The week before and stuff. So I kind of just took all the braids and put it together. Um so it's kind of old. So I had to try to do something, make it a little bit better. So hold on a second, you guys. Got my Facebook all. How you flip the camera? Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, I got my camera on Facebook for to record. Okay, if I didn't have it facing me, I'm sorry. So let's start over. So I'm basically just I wanted to catch up with you guys, so you guys know what's going on. I got a new hairstyle. I got my hair braided. I used the honey blonde. This is the color I used to go maroon. Was kind of new color for me. So I basically got individual braids, and then like around like Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, I twisted my hair up before Friday, so just to get it, because it was looking kind of rough. So just twist it together. But yeah, so my Facebook thing was turned the wrong way. So I just wanted to catch up with you guys and just let you guys know, what was going on. Just because it's been a while since we spoke. So basically, there was also going on at my job while I was working and stuff. So they created some bullshit and they terminated me. I believe it was wrongful termination because a lot of the reason why they did it, I was out of compliance. I was out of ratio and what I'm saying, for a while there was a history in that room. The room with racial violence even in there, and that director had a history of doing that. It was just a lot of BS and just a lot of so when it first happened, it was I was ready to leave that job, but I wanted to leave on my terms. I had plans to resign, and because I had felt like I was gonna be let go. And but the only reason I had stayed, to use my get that feeling, I put an application, I leave. The only reason I stayed was because I was house hunting, because I got approved for a loan. I was trying to get a house or whatever, and so I was sticking in there for that. Because if I had started a new job, it would have fit the loan, the house loan that I got. So I was sticking in there for that. Or use I was up and leave, but I ended up not being to find a house enough time, and so, but this was after I got let go and stuff. So I ended up I started a new job in April. I lost my job in April, and 2 weeks later I started a new job, and they were paying me more than at the other job. It was like BS, and it's frustrating because you know the truth, know what's going on, and you feel there's nothing there to protect the teachers because the teachers get treated like we're not needed. And you can't be, and that daycare doesn't function without your teachers. You need your teachers because you got so many different age groups that one person can't do all those kids. You got to have enough teachers. They look at money. The state's not going to look at money. They're going to look at, you got this amount of kids, so we expect you to have this amount of teachers. Company looks at, okay, you got this amount of money. We can't afford to have many teachers, but the state company get hit. That's going to be on y'all. You can't put that on the teachers, but and it's still happening, where, because I'm still talking to someone and, she got sick real bad. So she's part-time now. And so she goes home early and they got several individuals together that shouldn't be together in one room. And it's just crazy. I just feel manipulated. I feel screwed. I felt like they needed a scapegoat, and stuff like that. And children are getting hurt. The children are not safe. And so I feel like we're going to have to be the scapegoat. But I feel like God knows the truth, and God will deal with them, and God give them due season, So it was tough. So that's something I had spoken about and meaning to. But I had this new job, and then being on this new job, it was triggering for me. Start a new job. We started because I was still upset, still hurt. The wound was still fresh, and because my thing is this, I work so hard. Whatever job I'm at, I work hard and I bust my behind. And, for me to bust my behind and get stuff straight, and then for you to get across somebody else, or for you to take it from me, and, it just really hurt. Because I worked really hard to get that room where it was me. They got to go right how it's supposed to be. And to bring me out of my room, I busted my ass getting the room right. That's my room. Point blank to the period. Because I was the one who had to fix it. And I knew people coming in and don't know the history or don't know why what was going on beforehand. You think you're going to come bring me out of my damn room? No. So it was really because I worked hard, busted my I organized that room. I got the kids. Oh yeah, I got the kids on schedule because they wasn't on schedule. They wasn't on the routine. I brought the kids consistency. I work on transitioning them to certain things, preparing them for the next room. And sometimes I was doing the director's job because she was failing to do her job, And so I worked really hard in that room. I was making sure it was bright. I had my kids trained. They, I didn't have any problems. I was with them every day. I was with them every, and it was just crazy. And it was just crazy. And, it was just crazy and frustrating because I'm like, people work. I don't care what y'all man. Any person you find, they're going to tell you that I work hard. I show up every day. I'm on time. I'm never late coming to work. I'm never late. When I take my lunch, I come back on time. That's very rare to find in an African American person. I don't call for anything. I show to work every day. And something comes up, like I had an accident, I got in a car accident. Okay, I'll call for that. But other than that, but I still showed the work the next day because it wasn't a real bad accident. So I didn't get hurt or anything. I showed the next day, and that's what I had to take care of. Insurance on that. I showed the work the next day because my income. I'm a single woman, so my income's only comes to my house. And I might not have any kids, but I have me to take care of. Here I'm showing up to work, busting my ass, always making sure my kids is ready when it's time for them to go home. And I don't get no credit. I don't get no shout out. I don't get no thank you. We appreciate you. I don't get a thing. And it's really hurtful to me that not to get that recognition and appreciation. And when your director, assistant director is African American, and when the air manager is white, and that director decides to defend a fat white bitch over you. But yeah, here we are in this world. We're all about, we should support black people because they're black and but here you are in a job situation, and that doesn't happen. And I had to do what was right. I saw wrong. I had to say something. It's not easy for me. But if you were doing what it is you were supposed to do, I will have your back and support you and back you because, okay, you're doing what you're supposed to do. If Dad came to me and said, oh, you did this and stuff, and I never saw you do it, or was it true? I would have your back and say, hey, that's the truth, never did that. I wouldn't lie on you like you said them lied on me. But the one thing I was for that moment was like, you know what? You're gonna have your back. Nobody's gonna have your back but you. And I was speaking to the area manager, and I get it as a 360 because she spent more time speaking to the director and that other teacher than she did with me. And she already had told the girl some months back as she started, I really like you. So it was to me, I feel it was a conflict of interest. A lot of stuff. And the problem was you had new people coming in and don't take the time to talk to the teachers. They just come in and because the cover stuff was on, we gotta get together. And then what's on the blame, so they blame teachers instead of make directors accountable. When directors are responsible. Because they didn't know what's expected of them, what's their responsibility, what's their role. As the director, it's your responsibility to make sure your teachers are racial, which means sometimes you have to ask. It can't be teachers always got to speak and say something. The directors have to ask. She never asked me. I said, you can't put it on me like it's my responsibility. She ain't supposed to say, no. As a director, it's your responsibility to racial, which means you have to ask sometimes. You can't just sit there and I know I'm supposed to say something all the time. No, you have to ask. Because you come in my classroom, when you went in my classroom, I wasn't working. If you come to classroom, I'm moving around. I'm busy working. So it's not my mom. So you have to ask me. You have to ask me. Just give me children. You have to ask me, And it just really pissed me off. So basically, it was like you were going to blame me, put it on me. And as I got towards the end, I was just in that job. I was miserable. I was unhappy. I was unappreciated. I felt disrespected because the new assistant director was so rude, so disrespectful. And I feel it's not necessary to be nasty to get your point across. And, I was mentally, emotionally drained. I was so tired. I literally like dreaded coming to work every day because they moved me out of my room. And you think you just throw somebody in that room and then they're going because they don't want to be bothered with the school agents. But I was honest in my interview. A lot of people are not honest in the interview. And I was honest because it was when I applied, it was a Rainbow, it was a certain daycare, and it was transitioned to another daycare. And I had a white director. And I'll be honest, she was very approachable, but she still had her shit. So the director was white, the director was white. Then some other people complained about her because really they wanted to do what it is they wanted to do. They wanted to do what it is they wanted to do, so they complained about stuff. Because really she wasn't in the wrong. The only thing issue I had with her was her tone and attitude a little bit. And I feel like something she could correct and fix. But to sit there and back these teachers up to run her is saying they have the right to do what they want to do. But there are rules. You shouldn't be yourself or you shouldn't be doing this, And so she felt like she was going to be fired, so that director resigned. So then a new director came in, which was African American, and the old assistant director was there. But for me, this is what I'm being honest at. I feel more comfortable with a Caucasian director than an American director because they're more approachable. You see my dude saying bullshit, little attitude, but if there's an issue with a parent, they'll come on with all that attitude. What happened? They'll come and yell at you, doing all because they know they don't know what happened. They're yelling not going to get it done. They know that they have to be mindful of how they approach you. And so they know if I gotta, ask her if what is that happened. Black African American directors don't think like that. So I did not feel comfortable when I got a new African director. So then when we got a new assistant director, she was Caucasian. And she had the same name as the last assistant we had. She was Caucasian. And she didn't know how to talk to people. We were like, hey, she don't know how to talk to you. And she corrected that. We were like, hey, there's certain ways that she corrected that. And then eventually it actually had gotten better and everybody was cool. It wasn't like, but it was okay. So when she would come to us, she came very respectfully and she got what she needed from us. But we had to know like, hey, you got my fire talk because some people would take fit down and brought to Miss attention. She dealt with it. She changed up her attitude, was more respectful and just kind of because she realized that, hey, they are the type that, hey, they will do what they need me to do. If I need to do something, they will do it and they'll have my, you know what I'm saying? Just be respectful. But you knew coming in, so you kind of got to tiptoe your ass up in there. And you got to give us time to get to know you. You got to get to know us, figure us out. So when she had left, what happened was when the pandemic came. So when the pandemic came, the assistant director didn't come back. She didn't become director somewhere else. So when we got a new assistant director, so it was a month before we got a new assistant director. So when we got a new assistant director, she was African American. And it was just like before, you're new coming in, you don't know us. Before you're so quick to want to come with attitude, we're not saying do your job, but you gotta be respectful in how you speak and how you talk. Because you did come with attitude a little bit and stuff. And you don't know. It's not about allowing people to do what they want to do. Now I got accused, I'm gonna do what I want to do. But yet, Miss Tanya do what she wanted to do. Because Miss Tanya don't want to be true, but I don't see throwing ass back over there. I don't see putting her where she don't want to be. And so I kind of said a name, but whatever. And it was like there was favoritism. Like certain teachers, you gonna allow them to do what it is they want, and certain teachers you want. And come in, you don't really know the situation, kind of wrong. And and the conversation brought to it, instead of correcting it, it was like, when at the last decade, I was at my director spoke to me like that. Just because your director spoke to you like that, and try to set doesn't make it okay. What's okay if your director speaks to you like that? Doesn't require all that to get somebody to do what you ask them to do. It's about respect. And it pissed me off. It's like she was basically like, saying, I'm not going to change it up. My director spoke to me like that. I think it's okay. Just because you're okay with that doesn't mean everybody else is going to feel that way. If people got an issue, it wasn't just one person. Every single teacher had an issue with the way you were speaking. When every single teacher got an issue, I'm sorry, you got to check your fucking tone. Because you're thinking that, the reason why this happens is because, she's not screaming and yelling. No, because she's not screaming and yelling. She was never thrown from the jump. She admitted in the meeting, and you were sitting right the fuck there, right there. We had staff development meeting because it was like President's Day, but instead of us being being off, we were closed, but the teachers still had to come in for professional development. And so she said right there in that professional development meeting, and said, I'll admit it. I said right there in your first call, y'all do what y'all want to do. She admitted it wasn't like it was happening because she was afraid to be first. She was okay. This, I was going whatever. She never came in with the mindset, okay, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna take care of business. She didn't do that. It should not take somebody, a parent getting upset, could not stay something to happen, and now somebody got dig. Why somebody got digging your ass for you to do your job? Hey, but doing your job from the jump, or she would have been happy to where you felt that you need to have a scapegoat. If you do what you're supposed to do, you wouldn't have had to lie on me to cover your ass. But you did. You lied on me or anybody could to cover your behind when something came up. Okay, this is coming, I gotta get rid of this person. Then to cover your ass. Well, if you had just done your job, that never would have been. You never would have had to do that. And never would have had to do that. And I just feel like, I'm one of those people that, so I'm seeing wrong being there the whole time I was there. So I started droning towards the end. So we came up for the pandemic, got this new, so I started seeing some wrongs. I never forgot. I just started writing things down to like early this year. So we come from the pandemic. We closed in March or back up in May. Then we got a new teacher in August. One teacher I transferred from another kindergarten, but I think she was horrible at that one. And I didn't. I said name and said, "Oh well." And I just felt that, like, how do you lie to someone? I think the reason why she didn't have a job was because the company didn't want to take her back because she wasn't good. She was late every day. She was constantly calling out, but yet somehow this person still has a job. There's also reasons why she couldn't come to work. And so that wasn't me. I didn't show up late to work every day, so I was never late. I didn't call out all the time, and it's inconvenient, it's not fair to us. Then they keep hiring people who don't have experience because it's called cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently they can't afford to. If somebody with a lot of experience apply for that job, you didn't hire them because you would have to pay them. So when you give them an offer, they're not going to take that because they'll make it a certain amount. They're not going to take that, So, and you can't afford to pay them. So let's find somebody who doesn't have experience and know what they're doing, and let's hire them and be cheap with them. You're not paying them a lot, but you still pay them to do the work as if you pay them a amount of money. When you're saying we should just hire that person, So the person that doesn't know what they're doing, you want that person to sit there and train them, but you got me on ratio, and you want me to train them. Well, I need to be in ratio to train her. And it was just crazy. And so before the pandemic, for the teacher, I would also make sure my kids are ready. I also make sure I do their last stop change around because I knew my kids would go home. So I changed one certain time. And then I also make sure the bags, everything was in the bag and it was ready to go, nothing got left. Especially if I know it's close time to go home. One thing I didn't do was I didn't put their jackets on because it might be hot outside. I know they'll need a jacket, it's hot outside. You can't say not if it's hot outside. Especially in summertime, you got a light jacket. In the wintertime, there was a little warm day, so you had a jacket packed in. I always had them ready, and an issue had arisen. And this was like the week after the new person started. So that following week, so she worked a week, and the following week she was out Monday and Tuesday. So on Monday, the director didn't take my kids and the 2-year-olds and put them in the infant room. The 3 or 4 teacher had them. So had them. But then on Tuesday, she's on completely different. And that's the problem. The director and the rest, they're not consistent. If you're not consistent, how can you expect your teacher to be consistent when you are not consistent? So it was constant. Every morning opening was different. When you come in every morning, it was different. You know, in the afternoon it was different because whoever opened that morning did a certain way. Whoever closed in the afternoon did it a certain way. And you come in all the attitude. Why do sit and say in the afternoons when Ashley's opening, what does she do? Instead, you yelling us like it's us. Now realize that it's not the same shit. But whose fault? It's not our responsibility. It's not a teacher's responsibility to get y'all on the same motherfucking page. You're the director. She's there to assist you. Get her ass on the same damn place. And this is why you need to be doing this. Because what was when she was in the room, when she was in the building, she would do, because you know, she would check her attitude. Da, da, da. She only did when she was in that building. When the was there. When the release, she'd be all over whatever. So you was kind of getting fake shit. And that was the problem. Because everybody had it. You be giving fake ass shit. You make sure you do because she's there, she's in the room, she's in the building and stuff like that. But as soon as she's in the building, it's like, oh, gloves are off. I run such. So you doing stuff differently, you're causing problems. We gotta call like, hey, da da da. But then she was also the snitch to the area manager, the assistant director. So she snitched to the area manager every chance you get. You know what I'm saying? You snitching, but yet you just snitched to the area manager. What you start the director doing? You knew that schedule room was on ratio, but did you ever go to my ring and tell my ring that schedule room was on ratio? I mean, whatever. I said that. You didn't snitch that shit to her ass, but you snitched what Miss Alicia was doing. You probably snitched to her about what I was doing, but you didn't tell her, hey, Miss Alicia's on ratio, and she probably doesn't feel comfortable because maybe she doesn't trust. I don't know if she doesn't trust us. I don't know what it is. You're doing all that snitching, but not one time did you go to my ring and say, hey, that schedule room is on ratio. I know you don't want to hire somebody, but we gotta hire somebody. You know what I'm saying? She's not good with it. That one's not for you. Can't sit there and say every teacher is supposed to no. Because not all teachers are good. You can't say if you're a teacher and you should make over no. Because not about your degree. There's teachers not good. And I said this from the beginning. There are some teachers, they're not good when you're going to put you up in another room. That room's not for them. They're not good, and they're not good at keeping kids controlled. You can't force it. You can't sit there and say, well, we got this the same way you should be going. If you no, because some teachers are very good there. But I can't do that room. I was asked in my interview. I didn't lie. My interview, I said, hey, because I asked for an age group, but I never said I preferred it. So anyway, she was like, so now I wanted to know, because I know you asked for a certain age group, but to work that age group, now, is that your preference, or are you open to, you know, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, it's my preference being that. I said, because I've been doing this for X amount of years, and I know I'm good. I just know that that's not for me. I said, 2-year-old, no, it's not for me. I said, I can do infants, I do more. I said, but 2-year-old, no, I said, it's not for me. I've tried it, and I just don't. I said, it's not for me. I said, because, you know, it's just too much, and it's very, very busy, and I can't keep up with it. That's why I never over there. And the director, she didn't even stand for a second. She was like, you know, I watch you with the kids, and I just for watching you, you're better in this room with the infants and toddlers. So you're gonna go between the infant. I was sick. That's where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be the school age room. I was sick. It was like, we're gonna have you here because you just work so much better than, and your demeanor, your presence, and your, you know, how you move and stuff. It fits more in over there. She observed. You probably never did that. If you actually watched me, you would know, yeah, she probably better right there. It wasn't about like, you might need somebody there, but as much as you need somebody over there, I don't work for that. I don't feel for that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and you gotta be say, okay, she don't feel for that. We put in it, it just don't work. We gotta hire somebody. It's not because I would try. That ain't for me. And I said it in my interview, I got hired. You know, but you got people coming in making up stuff, telling Maureen their opinion, and nobody asked me. Because if you had asked me, I would have told you this. Nobody came to me and asked me how to go, because I would have told them, like, hey, this ain't for me. I said, because you came to me and asked, I would have told you the same thing I told Tracy and Christina in my interview. When they interviewed, I said, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, I said, if it talks for me, I said, because I've been doing it long enough. I know two-year-old enough. I said, that's not for me. I said, because I've dabbled in it, because I had teachers like be out or be on a vacation. And so I had been in that room covering her spot for like a whole week. I was there 2 weeks. Now I'm almost off my fucking mind. I can't do 3s and 4s. I can't do school days. I can't do 2s. So y'all can find somebody else. I'm doing part-time, but I'm about to miss my hours when I'm the one with the kids. I said, no person can start. I said, I guess Miss Nikki. I said, but she ain't got no infants. I said, she was starting out as an infant teacher. I said, you just said she feels skin out, so why would you have in the morning room? I said, stop sitting here lying, downplaying these kids like a 1-year-olds, like infants. No, they're not. They walk, they run around that room. You have to, they're not going to come when you call. Sometimes you have to go get them. She feels can't do that shit. They're 1-year-old. They're 1-year-old. They're similar to 2-year-olds. They're similar to 2-year-olds. If they had asked me this, I would have told them. I said, but you don't need to be the 1-year-old room. I said, with them 1-year-olds act like infants, crawl around them. No, they move faster than infants. They walking around. They get what's probably faster than infants because the infant will crawl around the room. So that was BS. That was your reasoning. You said that while she was down there, then she said it was times that runs around. And she's constantly keep saying, I need infants. I need infants. It's too much. I need infants. It's too much on her. And I shit her and got sick. Because she had no business in that room. She should be allowed to keep collecting unemployment till I got some kids. I'm the Tyler teacher. I'm the one that still had kids. She didn't have no kids. The problem was nobody want to go down that school age room, down the renters. But yeah, y'all want to tell us sometimes you got to be where you want to be. But not one time I see either one of you up in there. It was a smile on your face, coming in with attitude. You know, so when that starts, I was like, okay, something got to change it. But at a point, so in August, a situation happened. And I was on ratio. They posted about and so the Reddit side posted about that she knew was lazy. Because I'm pretty sure people had told you. And so that she was lazy. Because I'm pretty sure you put her in there with Miss Tanya. Miss Tanya told you her ass was fucking lazy. So you knew. So if I'm in there with infants and I got towels, you know these infants can't, you know I'm gonna need somebody that has to work. You can't do. And daycare, we use this term called use somebody as a body. And what that is when you put somebody in the room, so when the state comes in, they see another person in there, and it shows that, okay, you know, there's a person here to help her. So it shows that, oh, she's so it appears like, oh, she's on ratio because I have her here. Or also on the camera, if corporate or you look on camera, they can see that, oh, there's a body, a body there in there with her. So oh, but really that person's as a body. So they can feel see another person's body in there. You say, oh, she's not over. You know. And that's what she was doing. You knew she was late, you knew she wasn't gonna do nothing. She's laying around the room all fucking day. When I used to have when Brooke was there and she was out because she got sick because it was her first time in childcare. And her daughter never been in childcare either. So her daughter was getting sick. And so she was out. So she said, Mackenzie in the room. Can't just stay around all day. But I'm like, so I'm based on ratio. Because I at that time I had 8 to 10 1-year-olds. Because I had the twins, I had all them. I'm like, come on now. And I'm sitting here. And I got to send do everything. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, come on now. I said, not going to go. I said, I have to do every fucking thing. I should have to ask you to do shit. I want somebody, if you see somebody to help me out, they know what they're doing. They take the initiative. If they see something you need to do, that's the initiative. You see something you need to be able to do it. You sit around your ass all damn day. So like what happened was one of the tables at lunch when the kids were done there. So my certain kids, they'll stay on their mats. So what she did was she used that as an opportunity to sit on her ass and get on her cell phone. So now this table sitting over here completely empty. She put up all the food, but you didn't clean the table off. All the kids were done. Go ahead and clean that table, clean those chairs. No, I had to clean both of the tables, all those chairs. Then I had to have my kids later. I had to change all the kids that needed to be changed. Then I had to sit there and break out all the food from lunch, pour out the milk, rinse out the cups that the milk was in, stack all the dishes up. I had to, if anybody at the time, if I had somebody that was on milk or whatever, I had basically clean them after lunch. I had to sweep. Because somebody keep them up, because when they drop food, I had to sweep all the food off the floor, put it in the trash. Then when we get them out, so I had to mop my floor off. I got the mop. I had to break out all the food from lunch and put it in the trash can, you know. And that other table, I had to take all the kids' food because they were done, put it in the trash can. Clean all the chairs. I had to talk about tickets. I'm cleaning like 10 chairs by myself, 2 tables. I'm doing all the stuff from lunch. And so I had to try to get all this done for it's time for me to go to lunch because I'm like, wow. I was wild. Had to change all the kids up. And so then then once I did all of that, I had to start getting my kids together. I'm like, this is freaking crazy. So that day, I kind of got, but that day, they put her in the room. I had infants. I had 3 age groups, which I shouldn't have had. I had infants, I had toddlers, and I had 2s. And she comes in the room. So 2 times, 2 different parents came to the door to come get their children. Because how the room set, if you look at the window, you can see straight at the door and you see parents there. So somebody run up and out the door or something. I was the oldest, and there was a parent out there. So there, Mrs. Yvonne had her kids out there in the back. Okay. And she opened the door. She was like, "Hey, such and such, we need such and such. They're going home, or somebody's going home." But the child not allowed to walk by himself. So Mackenzie walks out the room, leaves me with all those kids. Twice she did it. Miss Alicia's nowhere near. She's all the way in the kitchen. Walked out the room twice to give the child to the parent. And the second parent came. So now the second time she's going out the room, Mauricio. The third time she does it, she took 2 kids, put them in the car seat. Nobody told her to do that shit. She overstepped. That was a moment of her overstepping. But I still over ratio because she nobody asked me anything. I just saw, because there was no communication. I just saw her just grabbing kids. I'm saying, I felt like, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is she? She's grabbing kids. She's not saying, I'm saying such. And she didn't say, so that leave ratio, right? She never asked her, because she had asked her, I would say, no, you're not leaving me in ratio. She's 10 kids. No, that's the problem. One of the issues of the whole time I was there, communication was terrible. I know the first week I worked there, I noticed I'm like, this communication is terrible. And you weren't director there. So the problem is, we get a new director, and this shit's still happening. What does that say about you? That the whole point you coming, you're supposed to change stuff, but it's still the same shit that's going on. So that says you ain't doing your job, because if you're doing your job, communication should have been a little bit better. Communication is terrible in this building between management, which is you, the director, assistant director, the area job management. The communication is terrible between management and the teachers. The teachers will communicate. If it's really, but we'll speak like, hey, you know this kid, have seen this, da. Busting my ass. If I see something, okay, you know what, Miss Alicia, let me help her out a little bit. That's why I started doing the laundry. That's why I started doing the laundry, because, okay, she's doing the dishes, doing the laundry. Because Mackenzie wouldn't do shit. Mackenzie would not do shit. But yeah, y'all told Mackenzie to be the one to be there in the afternoon, basically be an assistant director, even though she's not official assistant director. Y'all had to step into that role till y'all found somebody. And then if she ain't doing what she's supposed to do, nobody wants to sit here and do what they're supposed to do. Okay, if she's not doing what she's supposed to do, we got to deal with her. Nobody wants to handle the situation. Because she wasn't supposed to do that shit in the first place. So y'all had to cover y'all asses. I didn't want to start in the video because I was doing the video. So they had to cover their asses. You know. So, you know, doing stuff. And it's like, come on now. She was stealing. She stole from an autistic child. And I mean, all this stuff happening. At some point, the director is responsible, not just because we're your director and that is going to follow me. No, you are responsible. Somebody you are responsible for, including the area manager. And so the child ended up getting hurt, and nobody saw what happened. I'm changing diapers. And she's walking out the room. So when she comes back in the room the second time, after she'll let me over there, she comes in, she picks up Lillian. This is when she's coming in. Oh, she goes, oh, Lillian got a thing on her arm. Now, one time anybody said, I'll pull the camera up, a little camera to see what happened. Nobody ever told me what happened. Nobody ever said, I'll pull the camera up. Nobody ever told me when this happened. But yeah, you wanted to film my kids, and nobody told me when this happened. Nobody said, put the camera up, this what the fuck happened. Nobody. You know. And so from right then, I didn't trust the area manager. I didn't trust the director. Because they probably that night before, because I called her because I have that Tuesday, I called her that day. And she showed up the Thursday because somebody came up. So we spoke and stuff like that. And I didn't see her, so I ended up calling her. But I was so upset, and I had my niece, so I didn't have time to process and stuff like that. Because if I was by myself, then I probably wouldn't have called. She never would have came. And so when she showed up, now Wednesday, I called her again. So yes, I'll be there. We spoke maybe 15, 20 minutes. because I'm gonna call her right now. She calls her, and gives her a heads up. So now she's talking to her, telling her, and stuff like that. So they're preparing. So they probably will speak to each other overnight, prepare what they're gonna do, and decide we're gonna throw her under the bus. But it's not easy for a teacher while she's still working, which is why a lot of times people don't say stuff. Because they're still working, they're not gonna say anything because that person gonna say they'll retaliate, or they'll wait. I hope someone comes up and use that to flip it and say, "Oh, we're gonna let you go because of this." Create some stuff, create some mess to be able to say, "Oh, you know what I'm saying?" And that this is their chance they get back at you, and create some mess of knowing that you are responsible. Because every teacher seen it, nobody saying the word. So you can't come at me and say, "Why didn't I say anything when the whole entire building saw it?" So I said, no. The whole entire building saw it. You refuse to sit there and just own it to it. So you're trying to once again put on me saying I should have said something. No, the whole entire building, because I would only saw the shit. There's a history that's going on before I was in the room. Shay was in the room. Shay didn't say shit. Because if I saw, I'm pretty sure Miss Tyne saw the shit too. Because Miss Tyne's the one that's telling her kids up there, but she ain't saying shit. You see what I'm saying? Sounds like a cover up to me. You shouldn't believe Miss Tyne never came to you. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. And a lot of times she would know what the fuck she was supposed to be doing. The kids weren't going outside when they were supposed to go outside. It was not happening. So then I get signed with a new teacher who has no experience. So now I'm pissed. You know what I mean? I got my niece in town and stuff like that. And I had my rental car at the time because before that I got to an accident. So I'm already dealing with that stuff. And then still going on with my sister and her boyfriend. He beat her. So they end up, so that's how I have my niece. And we're going through all this. You know what I'm saying? I got enough on me. And this shit happens. Because I'm juggling bringing my niece in, just like the week before when I got to my accident. We get delayed. The new teacher walked out the classroom while the kids were napping and left them because being new, she doesn't know sometimes lunches get behind. She's like, "Well, no, I can't, but you can't leave them kids in there by themselves taking a nap. A child can pop up." She left them. So, but both of us teachers ended up getting fired before I got let go. But my shit was wrong for termination. And when you're a child of God and you're doing right, especially when you speak up. And this is happening because you spoke up twice. Because the second time it was brought to me. She went around, so I speak to your parents, and come to find out, and I don't know if this was true or if it was a lie. But a lie or not, if it was a setup. Because I remember before she came, a teacher came and said, "Do you have her number?" I said, "Well, I have it, but I don't know by heart. It's stored in my phone, and my phone is in the car. I don't have it." So she goes, "But that's all right. I'll just screenshot it off the thing because her picture was up there." And so and so I wasn't quite sure if so she would say just give me the talk, and and honestly with you, my guard was all like the Holy Spirit, my potential armor I felt was on me that day, and I wasn't on my game because all of a sudden now this concept happens in February. And nobody, and I was actually because I didn't speak to her, talk to her. So when she popped up, what the fuck? She's popped there. I'm like, who? Shocked because there was something going on. But and I want to say something about, so I don't trust her. Then I got the director telling me, "Oh, don't go to her anymore," because she would say I went to her. She was like, necessarily telling me, "But don't go to her, don't go to her." But I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I didn't trust the assistant director. Now I don't trust the area manager because if I did go to her, and I feel like God that was God that was kind of God talking to God. I was like, I don't really trust. I was like, I don't know. And I really didn't want to drive, so I didn't say nothing. The whole time I was working, I said I'm not gonna say nothing because I was trying to at least make it to May. If I would have at least wanted to be until like, well, if I realized okay, I'm not gonna get home, then I would have just took the, and I was trying to make it. I didn't make the decision until like sometime in May. It was close to. I said, well, let me reach out to them and see when. And I just ended up being like, okay, I just couldn't find enough time. So my lease was gonna be up in June. I stayed and found one, it was kind of tight. And so I was calling, but then I was trying to hang in there. And when that shit happened, because this child, it was the same parent, and there once again, there's something already going on in the room. And just because a teacher provides an intro report for every time, doesn't mean okay for a child to go home and scratch on her face. But yeah, you didn't do your job to be like, okay, because clearly if this girl getting scratched up all the time, clearly she ain't supervising them that well. She's not really supervising them, but you want to use her as a fucking example of coming to me? Are you fucking crazy? You want to use someone who dug her fingernails into a child? That shit ain't gonna hold up in court. Her digging her fingernails in a child shuts down her credibility. Her not having any experience, her having history of lying because she lied on Miss Tanya. Because Miss Tanya brought to me, she was like, she lied to Mr. Ashley, told Mr. Ashley that I didn't show her. So you got history of lying, which means half shit she said you should probably lied about. Then on top of that, you never came to me. You claimed the limit came to you, but you never came to me about it, so that I allegedly supposedly did. So I cannot defend myself. So I don't know what was supposed to say to you from Zelima, because you never came to me about it. Because having shit she said to you, probably already fucking knew. But she don't know that you know that shit. You let a lot of shit slide on you. It's you. So it's your fault that teachers doing all this fucking wrong because you see shit and you don't say shit. Some shit you knew when she came to you, but you don't say shit. So we all responsible because we all seen wrong. We all saw put the shit and nobody said shit. What you're not gonna do is point the finger at me and be like, well, you talking about and say nothing. Well, the whole time building this shit should be blamed for that. I said, no. I said, yes, it does. I said, because you brought it up. The whole damn building has seen wrong. I said, even the director sitting in front of your damn face seen wrong and do shit about it. So you can't put the finger at me asking why I didn't say shit when nobody in the building said shit. So I can't be held accountable or get in trouble for not saying anything when nobody else in the building saying anything. Don't come to me like everybody's saying shit, and I'm just always saying shit, and nobody saying shit when they see wrong done. Because they know they doing wrong. Miss Tyler gonna come to Miss Alicia, say something doing something wrong, but she won't take them kids outside. Miss Tyler not take her kids outside. Miss Alicia says right there, line not take them kids outside was required by law. Every single person will know it's required by law for the kids to go outside. If the state wants to come in, we get in trouble for that shit, but you won't say shit to Miss Tiny. You lost her ass right there. You don't go outside based on how you feel. Even if it's 90 degrees outside, she put best out for at least 15 minutes. She won't do it for 15 minutes. They ain't supposed to go outside 11 o'clock. That's what they're supposed to be eating. Even if it's 19 degrees outside, you said to go outside, it's just for 15 minutes. Just like if it's super cold outside, you said to go outside, but it's for 15 damn minutes. You ain't doing shit. I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck off. But basically, so then shit kept on happening. Then I got bit by ants because you got teaching them to know experience, but you gave me all this girl's kids because you got her set up in the front. Once again, no communication. And so, but you want me to show her stuff, and she's still in training, so she can't do it. So I have to do everything. If I say I do everything, she's still pregnant. I can't have all these extra kids. I can only have 6. So I would go outside every day, never had an issue. Child never got bit outside. She comes in my room, and my child got bit. And I just got treated like, like I was a liar. So whenever I said anything, they didn't believe me. It was just like, it was like they're not gonna believe me. It was like then I said it for I was lying, making shit up, or what I said that never happened. It was like I was lying. It was like no, it was the truth. Because I never had an issue with just me, and I had my 6 kids. I said I was in Russia with 6 kids by myself. That shit never happened. I get pulled fucking Russia, and that shit I get bit. It was just every time. Boy, I got hurt. It was a Russia. I was also on Russia every time. You know what I'm saying? That's considered a history. Then that room was on Russia for 2 months before I was in there. You have a history of continuing doing shit. So what that says to me is you don't learn from your mistakes. You keep making them. When you fucking you're supposed to do that shit again. No, not you. You say you're gonna do that shit again. So it's all the shit going on. The disrespect, the petty shit. So like, in the last week of February, I had like a week of vacation days, and I wanted to use it for my anniversary that came between anniversary that came. So I took off right for that week. I come back in March. And at this point, because I was in the room, because what happened was the teacher, she got fired because she dug her feelings into a child, and try to save somebody else, and they claimed they put the camera up and saw that it was her. And I believe she probably did that shit. You know, I know she did because her child was involved in it. Because from the jump, she was never supposed to be rude with her child. But as always, the bend and shit, and there was something happened, you don't take responsibility for it. She had no business in that room. She didn't see her child hit allegedly, but she sees this child hitting her child. But the camera shows that her child hit first, so that child was defending herself. And she goes off on the child while the child was attacking her child. That wasn't the case. That child was defending herself. And so she ended up getting fired. I had to be in that room. So it was tough me. It was 2-year room. Yeah, I had his kids before, but when I had his kids, they were 1 year old. And you really think if I had kids at 1, that they're gonna be that way, they're still gonna be the same child when they're 2? Like, come on, they're 2 years old. And they were there probably about 2.5 now by the time, you know. And so she gets fired. The other teacher before that, the white fat bitch, she basically gets 2 weeks to get her shit together. But basically, she was fired, but was allowed to work 2 weeks before, you know. So basically, that week of New Year's, that was her last week. The week of New Year's Eve, because we were close for New Year's Day. That was her last week. So she wasn't even there. So they didn't have school teacher. And then a month later, they lose the 2-year-old teacher. So now you're down 2 teachers. We think, who finna go up in there? You know. So I was out for a week. I come back. And the first day I come back, I'm trying to get myself, you know, like, all right, but I could be, you know, because, you know what I'm saying, about, you know what I'm saying, and it all happened in the afternoon, so she ended up getting hurt, got scratched. Didn't see what happened. Because, you know, so I'm in there with 9 2-year-olds. I don't do 2-year room. I'm in with 9 2-year-olds and stuff, and I'm doing my job. And I got a child, a wild child. Don't get any help, don't get any assistance. But then if they have to deal with him, they will separate him from his class. But they do. So what Ashley did was, in the morning, she would keep all the kids and then throw Fazia in there with me. They'll throw the wild child in there with me. What the fuck? Yeah. They would throw the wild child in there with me. Yeah. And then with me or Miss Nikki, I said, oh, you too much, you won't listen. You know what I'm saying? I had the kids in the hall and he won't do that. Then I'm saying the same shit. But nobody would give me a break for nobody would take him, give me a damn break. So at least get the kids, they won't do that shit. No, I was fucked up. And they wouldn't do it. But if they had to do it, oh, let's separate his ass. You know, because they're right there. Since the Reddit was not on the same page. You know. So then she signed one day and said to me, so the point was, I came back. So when I come back, I noticed on the wall, they had service value spotlight on the wall. We got a total at a time 4 teachers, right? So they got a total of 2 teachers. This is the record update. There was 2 teachers that were on there. Me and the teacher that, you know what I'm saying, I'm cool with. That's in my classroom. I'm like, wow. I said, really? Neither one of us on the wall. So clearly, they got an issue with her. So it means her ass going to be next. Because you didn't put up on the wall. So a person do what you want them to do, and will kiss your ass, you ain't going to cover them. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to first like it's bullshit. Because nobody's doing service values. And then when she puts up there, the ready for herself or sacrifice I made, that's not even one service values if you're making a sacrifice. So what you basically telling yourself that you don't do in those service values. So that shit pissing me off. So also we're doing this petty ass shit. So I always did stuff in my classroom, the billboards, and when something come around for Christmas, I did it up. I got one compliment from Sister Rita. Oh, that's real nice. But if I did something on my wall and shit, I got nothing. Right? So now I finally go my room in January because all the kids were 1 except for 1. And she was gonna be 1 in January, so they went to move in my room. So I'm doing all this stuff, making it nice, on nothing. But I'm saying all these comments, oh, I like your wall, oh, it's nice. So then March hits, and the teacher that does something on the wall for St. Patrick, it wasn't that big. It was something a little small. And they go, oh, we like your stuff over there. And she looks at me, she goes, you know what? And she was upset that they called me because she knew what it was. She was, they knew so out of spite. So they're really trying to like do something out of spite towards you or whatever. Because that's nothing. I saw all that mess I did and I got nothing. Because they want it seemed as if I don't do shit. I did all that. And so that's where the disrespect came from for me. I'm like, y'all gonna disrespect me because y'all don't do this petty ass shit. So then they want to sit there and say, oh, shout out to such to make sure the kids are ready. And it was funny because the day they did it was actually her last day. But it was said that she was suspended, and then she got let go. So it was basically her last day. By the time I knew it was her last day. And it's funny how they shot her ass out. And just having they shot her out was her last day at work and she got fired. But I'm like, wow, so more disrespect and more just being fucking petty. Never gave me a shout out. We know good when I busted my ass, do all the fucking shit, and for you saying do that damn shit, not giving no appreciation, not giving me a shout out. So, of course, in this shit, I was angry when I saw that shit. But I said, you know what? When the guy came, he said, you know what? You know what you do. I know what you do. The parents don't even know what you do for those kids. Don't lie about it because that's coming from people who, out of spite, who just for a reason are mad you like you're angry at you for really inside not to. So I said, you're right. I said, I know what I do. When I bring to the table, I know that I do. It was like 6 service values. I know I did at least 5 service values. And really, I teach you not going to be able to hit on all the service values, because we're not human. If you do all your best and you're perfect, but you're not. We're human beings, and human beings are not perfect. We're made of flesh, not the spirit. There's only one human made of spirit, and that's God. You know what I'm saying? So you try your best to hit them. Nobody's going to hit them all, And I said, I do the best that I can. I bust my ass, and I actually do a couple of service values where the people on the wall don't do any of the service values, And I said, but I don't need that because my appreciation really comes from the parents and their response. And parents of my class are saying, "Oh, Mr. I'm getting all these positive responses and stuff." That's my recognition. My parents recognize me. My kids recognize the way they react towards me. If I was so terrible, why do my kids love me so much? Why is it that Zaire won't go over? Which is weird because he never did that. I don't know where it came from. I just told him he wouldn't go, which is weird because he never did that. So I don't know if because he had been out for a while or I don't know. Because usually I and he walked right over there. Or if I had my TV, and it was I don't know what was going on. I don't know where that came from. He never. What the heck this coming from? He would lay almost as if you all shot like kind of do like a shy thing. But I was doing like I don't it was like it was weird. Like what the hell? So you better not crowd you up out here. It was weird because he never did that. But that goes to show my kids' behavior. If I was so terrible, they won't act like that. The fact that they don't want to leave me, the fact that they get excited when they see me, that tells you I'm doing my job. Because if I was doing my job, if I want to do what I'm supposed to do, if I wasn't watching my kids or what, they will react that way. If you say when kids are afraid you, if they're not comfortable, if a child not being treated good by a person, then it will show. They will tell you based on how they respond when they see that person. They will draw a bad number to come to that person, and they'll say, why she don't want to come to her? Because it's like she's scared of her or something. Because that makes parents think, okay, so either I said so or I did so to make child not want to come to me. My kids didn't do that. So that right there tells you what kind of teacher I am. It tells you what type of teacher I am. And tells you what type of teacher I am. And so, what I'm saying, the parents' response to them, what they say when they think of me, and the kids. A lot of parents didn't do it because they work. And you can't go by that. Because those parents work, you try to force them and all that stuff like that, and spend the rest of those parents work, and that's probably why they get done. Because they got some website, just like you've been at work, or they get home and they got the kids they got to deal with. And that's what they feel like doing. Time to sit down and do. I said after they been at work, or they doing shit. If I was parent, I probably would do that shit. I probably wouldn't fill that shit out. it probably been a week or so before I had done that because I got my kids I gotta deal with when I get home, and then my husband I gotta cook, and I've been at work all day. So the last thing I'm trying to do. So I'm sorry, I'm battling a cold, so you kind of gonna hear some sniffling and hear that move around in my throat. Cause I've been battling for a couple weeks now. I think I'm at the end, but I can't get this rattle out of my chest. Last little bit, just like get out, and the kids let you know. And every day I worked there, it was all some BS. I worked at daycare where my light was shining. So I was like, well, let's dim her light. Because I never did anything. It was like, it bothered them that I be on my job. You know what I mean? But you would think that, how does that bother you? Because that's what you want. That's what the parents want. So you actually doing that, and you got an issue with it. So I become your target just for whatever. And I was like, I'm fed up. And I busted my behind. Because I remember being proud. I was like, David, I've been doing good. Haven't had really any like scratches or injuries. Because I was just thinking about it was like last week, matter of fact. Before I was like, I've been doing good these past couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? When you first go in the room, the adjustment period. Because I remember when I first was put in there to cover for mistakes that I knew. I was kind of new, so I said get used to kids they get used to me. It's an adjustment period as well. And so you have to go in the room, there's an adjustment period. But they don't think about that, they don't factor that. There's an adjustment period. And so it took a while. But then once I kind of got my own system, how I was going to do something on the flow, all that shit stopped. That's why I sit there and said what I said. Like, I'm in there, I rarely get scratches or anything. If it happened, I might have in the bucket. I was walking around in the buggy to get them out of the classroom. And they might have missed the outside time or something because I couldn't get them out. So I just walked around throughout the classroom, by the building. And when they're in the buggy, you can't sit up in the front. Even if I clip down, you still have the they go pull back. It's still kind of hard to see, especially there he's in the back seat. Because I had to look forward because I can't look down here and push the button because I can't see what's going up here. And I've been on push the buggy to a wall or something. So it's just like driving the car. If you were driving the car and your kids in the back seat, or you want to turn your head to the back, you wouldn't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But are you going to sit there and feel that you will supervise your children because you wasn't looking back about you can't look back at the kid, at your child. If you got like a newborn child, a 2-year-old back there, you can't sit and watch that 2-year-old and you behind the wheel driving that back there in the back. You're not going to see that because you have to look forward. It's in the stroke, you got to look forward. I can't look down if you're sitting right here. Trying to make sure he's not. I can't do that because I'm going to push the thing to the wall. So you might throw your car to a wall. You know what I'm saying? You will turn your head back there in the back seat and you look up while the car moves, make sure the 2-year-old ain't messing with the infant. So why would you expect me to have my head down? But that mean I was supervising my kids. That mean I wasn't supervising them properly. And that's what it was. They're trying to say that I was supervising the kids properly. I wasn't where I need to be. No. Because the cameras aren't accurate. I took pictures. One playground, there's no camera there. The camera look cut off. You got another playground where there's lights there, but there's no camera. So got one camera pinning out. The other camera goes another way. But the camera's not aimed on the playground or on the swings. On my playground, it's zoomed. It's up close on the actual slide part. You don't see no other part of the playground. The only thing you see on the part you see the playground is the slide because you can see the road in the background behind it. Because they zoomed up on it, but you don't see. That's not to the playground. It's more to that playground. There's swings, and then there's like a sidewalk right there, and it's like a bar, but you don't see it because they zoomed up on it. All you see is the slide. You don't see the slide. The slide's cut off because they zoomed up on it. You see like the top part. You don't see the slide. It's cut off. You see everything at the top. You don't see the stair. It's just that little part, the little roof part. So how can you sit there and actually see my children when they zoomed up? You know what I'm saying? The cameras are not accurate. They don't have sufficient cameras. They don't have cameras that pick and see everything. You have a camera that when it aims, it picks up kind of like, because sometimes teachers are going to have to be over by those doors because they go in. Because I bring my kids outside, they're talking about someday I go to the bathroom. But see, this is happens when nobody comes to you. I said, y'all didn't come to me. I said, I'm lying on you, like y'all lied on me. Nobody came to me. Because when I'm outside, my kids go to the bathroom, I had to open up a door and set the door, and I had to watch it in between. But I had to call the child, like, hurry up, because he needs to go to the bathroom. And one time what I did, and so then what I started doing was I had it with everybody. I said, who? I said, everybody go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom now. But bathroom now. What? Oh shit. Okay, my live view. I didn't see it. I missed the countdown on Instagram. Sorry. And so, and so, and so, you know, so but not all kids are going to go to the bathroom at the same time. So if I got maybe like 5 kids, on 3 might go to the bathroom. They might need to go right then. But other 2 they had to go to the bathroom. So I'm still, so as those 2 kids that had to go right then, turn around, we got to 20 minutes, I got to use the bathroom. Because these are school agers, they're not all going to go to the bathroom at the same time. It's not me. They're not going to go to the bathroom all at the same time. And stuff like that. So that doesn't really work. I said, so I did like a couple times I was over there. I still had to take people to the bathroom even after they went to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody had to go at the same time. So I was like, well, what's the point? Because either or, I do have the kids over there, still going to have to go. Because then, like, I get by the time I go outside, I had Miss Tiny's kids, I had school ages. And I had 3 and 4s. So they had to go to the bathroom. So it was mainly that class that had to go to the bathroom at 3:00. And so they're like, I gotta use the bathroom because one child had to poop. So I'm over there along that street because he got to poop. I can't tell him not to poop. He got to poop. And I'm trying to feel like, why he didn't? I'm like, so my back started getting him. And when you call him, he didn't respond. So I literally had to yell as if he was in trouble. I'm like, Gavin. I said, you heard me calling you. I said, are you in there pooping? Yeah, I said, Gavin. I said, when you hear me calling you, respond. You know what I'm saying? I said, somebody calling you, say, yeah. I'm calling you, you ain't responding. So a lot of stuff was going on. I'm on Red Shirt every day, and I knew what was wrong. I knew I was in the right, but I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know who I could trust. Then I didn't get this number. So then now I'm kind of going back and forth, like, should I call him right now? I make sure I wait. So I had to decide. I said, when I put in my letter of resignation and resign and leave, I said, that's what I'm going to call him. Let him know because that way, there will be no awkwardness. I said, I'll just wait and call the person because I no longer work there, and I'll say whatever. I don't have to worry about it because I will no longer be working there. I don't know if I see their faces, they can't do stuff, and you know what I'm saying? They won't be able to, at least if I resign, they can't say I was disgruntled employee because I resigned. Even if I let go, you can't say I was disgruntled because it's facts. If there's evidence stuff to support it, your disgruntled claim had no weight because I had evidence to back that up. So, and stuff like that. So I said, okay, well, I'll wait. And then it happened. Then I let go. Didn't see it coming. It was on a Thursday. And I think it was like the week before I got paid. Because I think we was getting paid like the following week or so. Either I got paid something like that. But I knew, like, I think I was getting ready. I had because what happened was that week that it happened, I was getting paid the following week. And so, what happens is the week before you get paid, that week goes on your check, I think. Or something like that. It goes on that check. So, and I think I started, because I just started that new, no. The week I got let go, I got paid for the time before that. And so the week that I got let go, I was starting a new work week. So I only worked 4 days. So I only got a check for a 4-day work period, So I got that. And my rent was coming. And by the grace of God, I was able to pay my rent. I think I had dipped into some stuff to cover my rent or whatever. But I said, I know God has me. But I was upset. And I allowed myself to be upset because I had that right to be. I said, right now, that moment, I'm going to be upset and have my anger and do it during this time frame. But I said, I'm not going to carry it. So let me go ahead and get to anger and I be upset, process it. But then, there's triggers. And it takes time. And there's betrayal, lies, manipulation. And sometimes, especially when it just happened, and you watch a show, you don't know something's going to appear up, it triggers, it hits. And so, it triggers stuff. So it would come up. But then every time I thought about it and I was processing, something new would come. to mine and stuff. So they had let me go. It was like beginning of April because I started my new job on the 19th. And it was tough to be at my new job. I'll see somebody reminding me of one of my other kids that in my class that I like, in my classroom. And it was tough. And I was pissed. I was angry. And I remember when it happened, my niece was getting out for spring break. So I had her for like the weekend and stuff like that. I think I was still out for a couple of days. So I had her. And I think I had her like the week before I was about starting new job. So I brought her back like that weekend. I ended up staying there because my plan was to drop her. But I came late because I saw some traffic. And on the way there, traffic was fine. But on the way back, it was like, okay, So I said, let's go back next day. Before I had started to work over there. Because I was in stuff. And I think we ended up taking her. I think I rolled when they took her back to Atlanta. So, yeah, because I ended up bringing her up. And, her up. No, because once I brought her up, I went back because I was still working at the time. And then I ended up losing my job before then. Before we took her back. So I ended up, coming down like that following week or so because we took her back like the week before I started. So I came back. I know I was going to be starting that job. And I remember going back like that day we got back. I think it was like a Saturday we got back. So I just got to roll with a whole lot and stuff. So, and I had her for a little bit because we just had her for a week. So I just had her for that one weekend. And Mom was taking her back that following week or whatever. And yeah. And so I spent time, so it was just crazy. It was fresh on my mind. I had a termination letter. It was not correct. Everything that was wrong. Even one instance where they brought up, it wasn't even right. She was trying to say that a child in my hand was a child that got their hand smashed, and I was consoling him, which is why I'm like, okay, that's a flat lie right there, and and they signed it, and they never said I had to sign anything. Didn't even tell me. I had to ask, like, oh, so this is, and then this is, you're free to go. I had to ask, and they were done. You know what I'm saying? The area manager didn't even have the boss to fire me to my face. She told them that they was gonna be my last day, so they pulled me in, and they knew the whole day it was gonna be my last day. And they pulled me in, and that's what they said. And it was like, shit, I was gonna be like, you didn't even have the boss to fire me to my face, So that pissed me off. So I remember going back after I had dropped my niece off because I had her. I brought her back, and because when I got fired, my mom had just got her, and so her week of being off was that following week and stuff. So I came down and I had her for the weekend because I took her back, I brought her back with me and stuff. Because I came down, because sometimes when I brought back with me, I also took her back somewhere, something like that, and something like that. And so I took her back. But so yeah, so it kind of gave me a distraction. It's my, what I'm saying. But y'all was looking at that letter reading and da. I do remember when they took her back. But yeah, and I was upset because I knew it was, and I couldn't stop thinking about it because I was actually in shock. I was shocked. I couldn't believe what was happening. And but at the same time, you have to be mindful of what you ask for, because I was ready to go, but I wanted to go on my turn because I knew. So then now I'm like, well, I can't stand it because they're gonna try to say I was a employee. At least I can say, at least if I resign, I can say, well, I'm gonna resign respectfully, peacefully, with no anger and animosity. So how am I disgruntled when I'm gonna resign? Now I can't say that because and I knew what the situation was. I was pissed. I knew they violated everything. They violated everything. So it was tough. So I started my new job. I love it. The director answers the real occasion, but there's some little shit. Some of the comments they make that kind of fit me and pissed me off. And there's some shit they do because they're not really on their game, but they're approachable. And some different things will rise and happen. It would trigger because I wish that job last time I was at did this type of stuff. It'll bring that stuff up. They gotta have therapy and stuff. So yeah. So I had to deal with that because I was really hurt and I was saying pissed off. So I had to deal with that, and that was a couple months of process. Then I was busy because I was so busy with that job. And I lost that job. I mean, I had to find some other job. So I got busy with that. But on top of that, I was also still house hunting, looking for a house. So I kind of didn't have the time to get up here and do this because that house was important to me. And I was hoping I would have good news to share with you guys, and I was going to get back on this share my good news, and it just didn't happen. And yeah, so I was devastated. So I said, I try for next year. So yeah, so it's been a lot going on, and there was a time of, I won't say depression, but I was down, and because I knew what it was, and and it was very hard for me to get into my job at first when I first started and stuff, and because I was still household, so I wasn't trying to be, I wasn't trying to get attached or connected with his kids or get too comfortable, because my thing was, I'm be here that long, and I had to figure that out. So then when I did get the house, it kind of was okay. Well, let me, get them because I'm not gonna be here for a year, So it's gonna be attached, and at least I was with it for a year, and so I was at my new job. It was tough. I was still there. I was still proud. I guess I was depressed. And because I was still thinking about a job, and I was trying to decide, should I do anything? Should I do wrong for termination? I thought about it. And I called lawyers and stuff, and I would leave messages. Nobody got back to me because I wouldn't know. I just called. I wouldn't know if I had a case. And I believe I have a case. So now I said all the information saved in just in case. So I still might, and so it was because it was on my mind because I was gathering up all the information, and it would trigger the. So it was months, And I finally thought, let me get it out of my sight. So I found everything that had to do with kids, all that. And I just put it in a folder and I stuck it and out of sight. And that kind of helped me a little bit because it wasn't present. I didn't see it. And I did a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'll print stuff off my own printer at home. So I'm using my own copy paper. I'm using my ink. If I'm using my own glue. I'm using my time at home. I should relax to put things together because I didn't have time at work to sit there and do it because I didn't have time. Could do it, do it during that time. Sorry. And so it was crazy. The sacrifice that I made. You know what I'm saying? Those things I did, and to sit here and just be disrespected the way I was. It really pissed me off. It really pissed me off and stuff like that. So, but I'm glad I'm not there because I'm not saying that I'm at the job because I was ready to go, but I was just saying I couldn't do it on my terms how I wanted to do it. And I let other people get involved. I said I won't do that anymore because usually when I have a feeling, I make that move. And I usually resign because I wanted to be able to use them. And I figured out a way to be able to use them because the director before her, I could just then use whatever. Let's put a number down. So, and so it's still a healing process because I'm trying, I don't want to wait too long, and I don't know how the cameras work, but I have dates and times and stuff. There's days I've seen the director walk right out of my own classroom and left my kids in there. I've seen the director do it. I've seen her sit between two classrooms and doing breaks. Have me go to lunch and she was in between when you should just have me go for 12 to 1, have to go 12 to 1, her 1:30, 2:30. Both of us, they had to go at the same time. That's ridiculous right there. Because I have toddlers that sleep like infants, they can wake up at any time. And so it was just crazy. So, I've been processing, that and trying to hear from that. And, so that was one thing. I wanted to update you about. So I do have a new job. I love it. I'm getting paid more. I pray for my house. I'm still drawing my new car. Another thing that had arise was so recently, about a couple weeks I didn't expect that part about that job took that long, y'all. So So I had, you know how on Facebook, how they sit there and show your memories. Oh, you got memories from, from such year, from 2 years ago, whatever, for that particular day. So there's a memory that they had shared from 2015. I was going straight to university. I was getting my master's. And I said, "Ooh, these master classes are kicking my butt." So I get it up real quick. I said, "Ooh, these master classes are kicking my butt." Let me see, I get it up real quick. I was, "Ooh, these master classes are kicking my butt," and you know, and so then I said something like, where the men at a support organization, but some more than I put. Hold on. I can't figure out what I'm looking at. This is weird. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just so weird. Okay, there we go. That's sorry. I'm trying to get my thing up. So let me go to see. So the original post was, see if I can find it real quick. So the original post was, "These meta classes are kicking my butt. I need a man who can handle a strong, oriented woman. Where are you men at?" So I reposted it and I said, I rolled back and won, talking about how the best responder to the masterclass kicking my butt. I won. I rolled back and won. No men stepped up yet. Where y'all at? So I had posted it. So about a day or two later, I get this thing, but from my ex, the one that was alcoholic and Spanish. Oh, you got Antonio responded to your memory. Some stuff, and when I saw, I was like, I hope he didn't respond to me. I did with my niece. So I go to click on it, right? And he said, "I'm right there with you." Clearly, didn't understand. It was something that was old, but you didn't see future in me. Love is one, spirit of mammon is another. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was at work when I got it, and it says 1 week ago. So I reposted June 19th. I think he posted 2 days after that. Up there, 2 after that. I was in the car. I'm like, what the? So you know what? So I'm not going to give him the inch of time. I'm not going to let him space in my head for free. So I'm not. I said, because he don't understand. That post was old. We weren't together at the time, so you don't even. And I was like, how's he able to comment? Because I had blocked him. So I blocked him again. So some said, go to your blocks where you block people. So I go there. And I got him blocked at least 3 to 5 times. Because he had 2 accounts. And I blocked both of those Facebook page accounts. He must have keep creating new accounts so he can, like keep blocking it. I'm like, so I couldn't understand how I'm blocking you able to respond. So he's creating new accounts to be able to respond. So I was like, I'm about to make my Facebook page private. And I also block him. So I blocked, I said, because I said, well, I blocked him all those other times. I said, so I can block him, but then he'll sit right there and, just create another, you creating all these Facebook pages just so you can respond to my stuff. I said, because you know what it means to block you, and that does you just refuse to respect my wishes and my feelings. So I said, you know what? Now I was in the car. I said, I just ignored him. I just blocked him. I didn't respond to his comment. I just blocked him. And but I couldn't believe it. He responded on my Facebook page. You were an alcoholic. Couldn't rely on you. You were selfish. I said all my attention be on you. All you thought about yourself. All you care about yourself and your addiction. You had a lifestyle that didn't go with my lifestyle. And you know what I'm saying? You weren't there for me. You were not there for me. When I was going straight my message, you weren't there for me. I already graduated. I had my degree before I met you. I didn't have it. And stuff like that. So So that kind of, I was upset by saying he not my respect my head for free. So then like last Tuesday, I spoke to my therapist about this shit, right? And that's kind of, I got it all out. You know, taking him the whole entire damn session. I was like, when you were doing this and that's where I said, you were selfish and you couldn't do stuff um and it was like, I was like, when I was at work, you have your own stress at work. So when you come home, your home's supposed to be your place of peace to de-stress from the day. You should come home stressed, but I come home stressed because you were bringing stress to my house. And as my man, you're supposed to give me stress. We're not about work all day, just like you had your own stress. But you're out in the streets drinking, and I can't look like I work because now I'm worrying about you. And it wasn't fair to me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that after I in Russia when I kicked him out of my house, because it was my house. You know what I'm saying? I had an apartment for, I didn't realize that, he was like, I didn't realize I didn't have peace. I didn't realize when he was gone, that I had my peace back. And the whole time he was there, he had taken my peace. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have it. I was like, wow, man. You know what I'm saying? I knew when I came, I didn't worry about BS. But then it was the fact that when I got to work, it was almost like he knew. So he said they at the bus, I wait and look at Toad drinking. The day I break up with you, you go straight to that direction, go get drunk. I told also my therapist, I'm like, this is, and I have anxiety. I had PTSD. I had PTSD because I experienced a lot of trauma. But then something happened in July, 2017, last time we were, 2 months before we had like broken up because we broke up in September. And we was at the 4th of July fireworks. And so after the fireworks, we had to get home. I said, we need to go to a location where we can actually pick up on the Uber to get picked up. Well, because for July, you knew it was going to take a minute. So then, but I was just hoping and praying that the Uber would get there. So I just had this feeling something was going to pop off. Gunshots went off. Now, one bullet hit me. But the sound of it's traumatized. And in fact, you had to run and stuff. And they had a word because he's a Spanish. Like, he know no better. He pulls him back into it. Then God didn't get shot. He did. And I feel like the only reason he didn't get shot was because of God's grace and mercy for me covered his ass, So we got to save it, but it affects me. And I didn't realize I had PTSD from that as well, or that, I had, because you can sit there and I have several traumas, and you can have PTSD from all your traumas. And I didn't think I had it from that trauma until I was walking one day in the dark. And I think somebody must have like drove past something that was in the road and made a pop sound. But because my back was turned, it sounded like a gunshot. I'm like, what am I looking around? As I'm looking around, I noticed this car sitting up over here. And it's pitch dark. I see the lights, like he's sitting. And the way it looked like, how like you watch the movies, how you see a car sitting there, they're watching somebody. And as soon as that person look up, they tear off. That's how it looked. But the car didn't take off. It was sitting. I said, what the fuck? It made me nervous. So I started moving a little bit faster to get home. Because I'm leaving from work walking in the pitch dark, They have a car at the time. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I got PTSD. Because I remember immediately I went back to the 4th of July fireworks. So I had PTSD. I had mental emotional abuse. I have anxiety. I've experienced trauma in my life too. And so I'm very sensitive and very particular how I want somebody to sit and speak to me. And I had to write the man, this is how you're going to talk to me. Whether you agree with it or not, this is how you're going to sit and talk to me. I said, whenever I speak to you, I never disrespect you. I never disrespect you. If I came to you and need something, I was never disrespectful. So how do you sit and allow her to be disrespectful to me and everybody in this building? Because I bet on the playground, Tanya had said it to me. Miss Nikki had said it to me. We all talked about it. And we all talked about her damn attitude. We got 14 talking about her attitude. How do you support that and back that shit up? Come on now. And it's triggering though. Because you don't know, I've been in relationships where I've been mentally abused. I had guys raise their voices at me. I've had, been sexually assaulted in my 30s. I was sexually assaulted at 30 years old. And the guy was very dominating. He hit me during it. I was sore for weeks. I couldn't, I forced myself in constipation. So I went to the bathroom because when I did go to the bathroom at the time, it was very painful for me to use the bathroom. The poop, even the pee, was burning. And that's why I said, let me look. I finally looked down and I was red. I had boils. I was sore. So I must have made a cut or something. And I couldn't, when I would go to wipe, it hurt so bad. And I knew I was showering, but I guess it was as if my body was open because I know I showered, but it was like I could just smell myself. And I knew I had showered. And I got to the point where I couldn't shower anymore and I could wipe myself, so I had to soak it in the tub. even soaking in the tub, I could still smell myself. I mean, it was like I'm like, I know I showered. I'm washing my behind. Why do I smell poop? I know I showered. And so I forced myself with constipation. So that way I wouldn't, because if you're constipate, you won't poop for a couple of days. So that I could at least heal up a little bit. So that I could start. I know I didn't have to wipe because I would just pee. So then I'm praying that I heal up before my cycle comes on. If they got end up healing up to the point where it wasn't like at the bottom, it wasn't where it was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the boils. I swear it went away. All that red and stuff was gone, but it was still, so it went to that point when I was on my cycle. And I think being on my cycle helped because then there was no friction and rubbing and by the time my cycle ended, it was like it kind of healed up. But it was bad. I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So that's pain and suffering. And also top of the abuse being hit. And it took weeks for me to heal. Mom had no idea. People in the fancy world are apparently they can tell. Well, mom didn't know. And stuff. And yeah, it was very painful. And I did come forward and I confronted him. And then it just inflicted more pain. And I didn't report him because he threatened me, like, oh, it's gonna go public, film's gonna know you're gonna be embarrassing, but it was that, but it was also the fact that it was being in the courtroom, and I knew mentally I didn't have the mouth I could deal with his lawyer cross-examining me because he's gonna try to make it seem like I'm this and I'm that, and say all these things. And I knew I know I wasn't built for that. And so I said, so I kind of played that back and forth. And I remember taking my dress and even putting it in a Ziploc bag. Because I hadn't decided what I was going to do. And and so I was thinking about it. So I'm traumatized from that. Because I remember when I first, after, it happened, whatever, every time I would drive past it was a certain hotel we were at. So whenever I would see that name, Brand Hotel, no matter where I was at, especially because it happened, I was with mom at the time. So when I would see it, driving by the actual, where it happened at, I'll meet a thing there. So it was like it was just, I associated that place with that. So I didn't like that hotel. I didn't feel, even if I saw that hotel in a different city where it was the whole design was completely different, I just do the name of the hotel. That was the type of hotel. That was the hotel we were at with that particular, but that was the company brand. So I don't think I ever get a hotel with that company. Because most hotels look alike, they look the same. Even in Raleigh, I see a hotel, associated with my attack. A lot of people do that. It's triggered. A lot of things are associated with trade. It triggers them. And so you don't know what somebody has gone through to month how you speak to them. And then when you apply for a job, you don't have to disclose that you go through this and this and that. You don't have to disclose you have a mental health issue, especially if you know it doesn't affect your job, especially if you know you can do your job. You don't have to disclose that. And you can't use it as an excuse because I don't have to disclose that. You just have to be mindful. Let me be careful how I speak to people because you don't know what they've gone through. Just because we don't put to the forefront, people have mental health issues, but that don't mean they can't be a regular 9-to-5 job. But you got to be mindful how you speak and stuff to people. So because I've been mentally emotionally abused. So I've been much with this manipulation and lies and stuff. So when you do that, it brings back that relationship. First show I was ever in. All the lies and listen to games. She ain't got time for that. And then being with a guy that was so toxic. It was like came full circle. Full circle. He was a third relationship I was in where it was like a real serious relationship. I've been in 3 relationships. And I take emotions very seriously. And not joke to me. I like to take my time. And from jump, it was just rush on his end. And he never said how I felt. He was always so pushy. And that's not how it should be. You should never be pushy on a woman. You should never be pushy on a man. Because there's some women that are pushy too. There might as well they're pushy. They're manipulative. They play games. They are. You should never be pushy on a person. You make sure you have the right to be pushy on a person, especially when it's at home and being pushy to want to live with me. Being pushy to want to, and then you want to tell me where you go. No. You'll get sent out to tell me where you go. See, you go sit your ass right on that couch where you get the fuck out. Because he said, I'm going to let something lead it. He thought I was going to sit there and what, boo cry? Who the fuck you think you are? I would boo cry for you? You put me through so much shit. You didn't do shit for me. Even when you helped me pay the bills, I still couldn't resell money. Because I had to sit there and just in case something was to happen, where you might, come on those days, he would have ended up spending all the money and I had to pay all the bills. I couldn't rely on you in that sense after, you know what I'm saying? It got to the point where I couldn't rely that you always would have come through. It wasn't a guarantee. It wasn't known that I knew I could rely on you to come through. And one thing I've always said was I want a man that I can rely on to always come through. Where like if I sit there and if I sit there and I give you some of my hey, this needs to be due. Like the bills are due. And I said, hey, I get money on. I said, can you go pay the rent? I know I can rely on you to take that money order to the office that day and pay it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to sit there and be like, man, I hope you did. I hope you. It should be like that. You should be so that you know that you don't have to worry when you give that you know he's going to do it. You know that he's always going to make sure to have the money. He always going to make sure that bill is paid before he does anything else because he has his priorities together. And with him, I didn't have that because he drank or whatever like that. You spent $100 on that. And then you didn't have it. You didn't be insured, so you couldn't pay that. Whereas them, I'm like, no. I said, because I said, you know what? So one thing I said to him, I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I pay it. I said, don't worry about it. I said, I spent the whole time. I said, don't worry about it. I said, because you knew, and clearly the alcohol you drinking and drugs was more important than having a roof over your head. I said, don't worry about it. And one time I said, you know what? I said, you want to worry about paying? I said, I pay it. When I said, from here on, I said, I just pay the rent. I said, I pay the rent. I said, I pay all the bills and stuff like that. I said, because clearly, I said, because I said, no, I can't do it. I said, I can pay all my bills. I said, you don't do me a favor. He said, no, I wouldn't help. I said, okay, well, act like it did. I said, because don't get twisted. I said, I can pay all these damn bills by my damn self. You ain't do me no motherfucking favors. I said, I was paying all these bills by myself before you moved here. I said, you didn't move until I took the step. I said, you didn't pay my bills. I said, the only thing you did was pay the electric bill. You offered to do it. But I paid all my bills. I paid my rent, any credit card bills that I had, because I had like 3 credit card bills, and I paid those. I paid my rent. I paid my renter's insurance. I paid my phone bill. I paid, because I was taking the bus. I made sure I had my bus paid. I had cable at the time. But I moved in 2016. I paid the cable because I had in there. I paid my Spectrum. All the bills that I said didn't paid, everyone was on by myself. And I asked him to pay my electric bill. That's the only thing he was paying. And when I must have, it was just me. He wasn't paying because I couldn't afford it. You paid because you offered to do it, because I could afford to do that too. I was paying all that shit before you left. And when I dropped his ass, I was ready to pay all that damn shit. So I couldn't hear him, got this man, and he's supposed to be helping out. So put where I should be, it should have been split down the middle. You pay half, I pay half. And I should better save money, and I couldn't even do that. I should better save money for a car, and I couldn't even do that. Because you wasn't always reliable to count all the time. But I didn't mean for it to go this long, but I guess I'm venting somewhat in a way. But I want you guys to know that I have a new Facebook page. It's actually a page. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, it's under the name of May Williams. But when you type it in, the profile picture is Real Talk with Alicia, so that way you know that's the one. But it's but then the profile name is May Williams. And it sounds just how I spell like the month of May and then Williams. And so you just type that in, then make sure you look for the picture where it says Real Talk with Alicia. And it's the same local icon as our page. Wait a minute, hold on. As a Real Talk, I think I'm in the wrong freaking thing. Dag on it. I mean, I think I'm my regular. I just realized I'm in my regular YouTube account, not my real talk, I believe. And so, dang, I went live too. I'm just all on my game. But I'm gonna do some more videos probably this weekend coming up. Cause there's some things I want to discuss and talk about. I might there's a go or something, but I want you guys to know about my new Facebook page. So my Instagram page is still the same, and the Twitter one is still the same, and the YouTube one's still the same. But somehow I'm on my raw YouTube. I don't know how I did that mess. But yes. So but look for that. Follow me there. If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to comment. You don't have to follow. But I will be talking about. I will be adding more videos and things like that. But I just want you guys to know about my new Facebook page. It's May Williams, and the profile picture is the picture I use for the YouTube and the Instagram and the Twitter. It's the Real Talk with Alicia, the pink and purple. So please check that out. Follow me. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I was trying to get back all this. Forget my nose, like I said, as I'm talking, the stuff is moving, so I need to blow my nose. I've bad in cough for cut. And that's another thing too, because I meant to do this a couple weeks ago. Then I got sick because I was thinking about going to get back on. And then I got sick, so I've been bad as cough for weeks. But I love you guys. You guys for supporting me. I'm trying to make sure I'm on the right YouTube channel this time. I apologize. I don't know how that shit happened. I'm sorry. Damn. So it's probably not gonna be on the Real Talk page. I thought it was on the Real Talk. Somehow it got switched on. I don't know how that even happened. But I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.